Alright, I'm just going to go through a few things because people like videos, especially about typewriters. Oh, one thing, by the way, is I ordered the warded lockpick set. It looks like that. That should, of course, it's not that big. This is just a printout picture, but I'll do a review on that when I get it too. See how many typewriter cases those will open. Okay, one thing I want to go through about this Royal No.5 that I've been working on. I had to replace the carriage advance handle and stuff, and some tabs, and this was missing, but I picked up a bunch of parts. So anyway, if you got a bell that sounds kind of flat, right? It could be that your bell isn't fully round. On this Royal, for example, you have a flat spot. You have to put that flat side towards the arm that rings the bell. If you don't do that, you'll have a flat bell. But when you put the flat side to it, right on. That's how that works. And you may not know that. You might think you have a bent bell or something, but that's not the case. Flat side of the bell goes towards the dinger ringer. Problem solved. Okay, let's set this guy aside. Yeah, she works great now, boy. And let's look at this Underwood, because I've been getting comments on Underwoods. This is just a parts machine, but I can show you two things quick about that. I had to change the letter Q on one of my Underwoods, so I robbed that out of here, but I'll show you how you pull a key out first. Let's say you want to pull a Typebar, right? So you loosen all these screws, or take them out if you want, it don't matter. You got these two in the interface of the segment, and then you got two up on the edges that are a little longer, I think. Yeah, that one came out. You don't have to take them all the way out, though. Just get my head in the way here for a minute. You just got to take them out far enough that they give you some room with the segment, okay? So now that all four are loose, right, just pop this kind of out of the way a little bit. I'm just going to leave that in there for now. All right, so because we don't have a letter Q because I took it out, we'll go to the letter A. Now, you'll have on segments, you know, you got that rod, like on a Smith Corona and all that. You can see it running in the groove there all the way through, but that you don't pull on the Underwood, okay? What you do is you just leave that alone. Don't pound at it, don't do nothing. You grab your letter. I push this in, and then I grab it in the back of the plate. Okay, so here you're going to lift up, pull out, and now you can reach in and undo it from the bar. See how it's a pivot system and it's open? I would say it's an open pivot system, I guess, for lack of a better term. And now I'm going to put it back in, and I'll put it back in, I guess, in the A slot where it goes. I guess that would make sense, right? So you hook onto the pivot, and here, let's turn this so you can see what I'm doing. So you got these arms back here, right? And they've got a little knuckle on them. So you got to get that in there like that, and then you got to catch it on that knuckle. Okay. So here, let's see. How can I show you what I'm doing? Okay. So here is the one we caught. If you can see it moving right there. So it's the second one in, and we've caught it on that little knuckle. Okay. So now you're going to go up, and that bar that goes through there is what you're going to catch that top hook on. Okay. I hope this makes sense. Okay, I'm going to reach around the camera here. So we're hooked on the knuckle. Now we're going to go up into the segment. Get off this other key. there we go. Okay, and then over that, and of course letting it go because it'll lay back in the slot. So now what we've done is put it back up over the rod there that runs in there. See how they all sit on top of that rod? And that knuckle I'm talking about, you can kind of see it on the end one there. Okay, so that's how you do that. Then, just take your screwdriver out of there or whatever and tighten up all your screws. Nothing really to it. If you don't have a camera in your face or between where you're working or anything, of course, that goes a lot easier too. I want to tighten in all these. I got to put that fourth one back in. You got that fourth one to put in, but that's no big deal. Alright, and so there's your type bar. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was, let's say you got to pull this for some reason, or something like it, right? You don't have a good maybe understanding of this. This doesn't have a flathead screw kind of thing on the side to unscrew it. And what you've got to do is in the back, sure, you've got this screw, which retains it some, but, well, retains it totally. And you can take that out. That loosens up the ability to take out what I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to let that dangle there, but it's just a screw like that, okay? Just going to leave that there for a minute. Once you loosen that, you can go to this pocket. You can go to this pocket here, okay? And you get something that's got a thread to it that you can get in there with. Now I've got an old bell dinger margin release thing, but it's stripped, so all I got to do is catch it a little bit, though. So, okay, so once you've got it in there, because that's threaded on the inside, okay? Then you can just, and I would just go to the hardware store and get a longer one, but you can just grab it like this and pull it out, see? And that is not threaded. That's just of course, this one's all rusty and not lubricated and been in there 100 years, but this pivots that rod, and there's one on each side. Okay, and that allows you to, once you get both sides out, of course, but that allows you to adjust that and whatever. You don't want any play in that, really. You just want it to left and right play. You don't really want any. You just want it to be free enough that it can pivot like it should. Of course, this being a parts machine isn't going to let me show you everything very well for how its action works, but that's how you get those out. And then, of course, to put it back in, you just put it back in like that. You tighten your screw down in the back here. And this is where you'd make your left-right adjustment, though. So by pulling this back or pushing this in a little bit. So if you want it to be about there, so that it can still move freely, but doesn't. Then you can pull your thing out that you screwed in with, whatever it be. But that's how you want that to be. All right, those are just a few things. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.